me see the camera. Oh, we lit. All right, y'all, we had our first little rest break, you know, first hike. I'm sweating. I got my hat on, I got my mosquito net, you know what I mean? All I gotta do is boom, they can't get me. You see me? Full ski. Yeah. Water break. Stay hydrated, my friends. This is some fresh pond water. It's still got a little bit of remnants in it. Disgusting.
I'm in the east and the outside. Be on the south side. East and the outside.
Greetings, my name is Obasi Davis. I'm the program manager for Kingmakers of Oakland and the lead facilitator for the TFI program.
EJ Walls, co-facilitator for the Fellowship Initiative in Kingmakers of Oakland.
This summer, we took a group of 15 Kings from our program out to Minnesota to experience an Outward Bound Voyageur School. We did a backpacking trip for 7 days out in the wilderness. We had to filter our own water, hike 25 miles. It was a crazy trip.
We all had to be at the airport at 4 in the morning. You know, Obasi picking me up at 2:30. It's still dark outside, but just trying to corral everybody, knowing that, you know, some of these young men that went on this trip had like never been out of the state or maybe even the city before.
And for them to be able to, you know, have that experience of going to another state, but also being able to do something that they've never done before, like backpacking in the woods for 7 days.
Okay, you excited, man? How you feeling?
Yes, sir. A little anxious, but I'm excited.
Okay, that's what's up.
But Minnesota was beautiful, super green, really like lush landscapes that we got to see on our bus ride from the airport to the base camp. You could feel from the first morning like a little bit of nerves and like the buzz of like excitement because none of us really knew exactly what we were getting into. Hospitality at the base camp from the Outward Bound folks was really awesome. They welcomed us, you know, got us fed and everything. But when I saw those packs that we were gonna have to pack, I was like, sheesh, like, okay, this should be interesting.
Students were not able to have their phones with them, no books. When we got there, we had to really break down like our personal baggage and literally take everything that was from our bags and put it into the backpacks. Everybody's backpack weighed about 20% of their body weight. They got lighter as the week went on because we all had to carry like group food and group gear and stuff. And so as we ate the food, the packs got lighter, but they didn't feel that light until the end of the trip.
The very first day when we were all together, right, the full Oakland group and the Dallas group in kind of one big group site was cool. Then the following day and thereon for the rest of the week, it was just our small group. So I had 7 Kings from our program with me, and we had 2 really dope instructors.
In the beginning of the trip, it was more led by the instructors from Outward Bound, and they were kind of walking students how to do the jobs, how to walk on a trail, like what you're supposed to call out to people behind you, all of the different things and skills you'll need to be able to be successful on the trip.
And my group got to go rock climbing on our first kind of like full day. And that was really cool just to kind of like break the ice and get them to do something really new.
Yes, sir! He's whooped.
I had got stuck, but we're not gonna talk about that. I made it back to the top, that's all that matters.
What y'all about to do?
About to jump off a cliff.
Ooh, what cliff?
This cliff. I don't know what it's called.
Like we were literally on the side of a cliff over Lake Superior. So it was like maybe a 100-foot drop underneath us. It was dope. And then a lot of them just had to get over that fear and trust that the person holding me up is gonna have my best interest at heart.
One thing that I appreciated a lot was like everybody having a job and how the jobs kind of rotated every day. So every single day, you know, 2 people were assigned to be the chefs and they had to make sure that breakfast was ready and that they distributed lunch when we were on the trail and they had to cook dinner that night.
So we'd have a student be the water whisperer who goes to get the water from the creek and filter it and everything. We had students do the bear hang, which is basically hanging all the food and materials we don't use up high a little further away from the camp so that any animals or something doesn't get into the food.
We had a navigator who was responsible for looking at the compass and the map and making sure we were going the right direction. The team doctor that had to make sure everybody was staying hydrated and drinking water, and like everybody having some type of responsibility, knowing that if anybody didn't do their job, we couldn't really succeed as a whole group. So that was really awesome.
How many miles we done did so far? 2 miles in on the 9-mile day.
One of the days we hiked 9 miles and we hiked up a mountain called Carlsbad Peak. You know, when you're walking up the mountain, it's like, why are we doing this? What's the point? But then when you get to the top and you see the view and how beautiful it is, and just, you know, be able to say that you did that is just it's a big thing, man. So it was super beautiful to be able to do that. I think that was probably one of my highlights.
You good? You good? You proud of yourself? Yeah. How you feeling, my boy? How you feeling, my leader? Yeah!
Going through things for the first time together, I think allowed our group to really like get to know each other better and like appreciate one another for what we bring that was unique to the table, and just seeing everybody overcome the various challenges that they were faced with throughout the week. Folks was hurting and tired and sore and aching and like probably homesick.
And for the students to be able to learn like to push through, I think that was the biggest lesson, is being able to push through even when things are hard, right? And seeing it through to the finish line.
The really cool part about the week was in the first few days, the instructors kind of had to tell us everything. They had to go through the routine for the morning. Every time they were making the decisions on when we would take a break and navigating us to where we were gonna go and kind of like, you know, walking us through the whole routine. But by like the second or third day, the goal was to get a little bit more independent and be less reliant on our instructors.
That was definitely a dope experience, just to be able to see the Kings take ownership of the experience and really like put what they learned into action.
Bro, they made me cry, bro. I can't believe I'm saying it on camera. They for sure had me. Just hearing them talk to each other, like sharing their appreciations on the last day.
At first, you might hate it, you might regret it, but it's all worth it in the end.
Oh, that's a bar.
On day one, everybody was just thinking about themselves and like, how am I gonna make it through this week? How am I gonna get through it? And by day 6 or 7, it was like, how are we gonna do it? And it went from like an I to a we thing, and that was probably the coolest part of the week.
How's the trip been going for you so far?
Man, the trip changed my life.
Yeah? In what ways?
It changed a big part of me. It taught me self-confidence.
That's dope.
It taught me stamina. It taught me how to stand up to my fears.
It was definitely 100% success. I think just overall with everybody who was involved in the experience, from the parents to the students to the facilitators, instructors, everybody, I think just it was a dope experience and really beautiful to be a part of, for sure.
Yeah, you breathe light and love, source energy from the sky above. Don't run from where you came from. You are history in the making. I'm in the east and the